Hi, my name is Molly Pierce, and for my second application presentation, I'll be talking about the peripheral route, which is basically a mental shortcut process that either accepts or rejects a message as opposed to actively thinking or critically thinking about the issue at hand. The process is based on irrelevant cues and does not involve high levels of cognitive thinking. So to start off, I'll start with the personal experience. Many times I use the peripheral route to process things or to process the messages that are sent to me from people. Growing up, I used the peripheral cue of authority to process, interpret, and accept messages that were told to me. So I had a babysitter that reasoned everything through this peripheral cue of authority and basically said, because I said so, to everything that she asked of me. That was her reasoning for it. So because of the authority within this statement, I never really questioned what she told me to do or asked of me, and I felt as if I had no choice but to obey her because of her authority. So now that I've discussed my personal experience, I'll make some inferences from it. Because of my interaction with this babysitter, I'm now aware of how easy it is to process things through the peripheral route. I have now learned to seek out more concrete reasoning from people and to think more critically in conversations versus just accepting everything as it comes to me and not really questioning or critically thinking about what's being told to me. So now that I've made some inferences, I'll discuss how these inferences can be transferred to other situations in life. Processing things through the peripheral route does require less mental work. You're not thinking as critically or as cognitively. The text even says that your mind sometimes goes on autopilot when you're thinking through the peripheral route because you're thinking out of habit or out of initial responses that you receive from the messages that you interpret. So while it's not a bad thing to process through the peripheral route, it is good to be aware of peripheral cues. The social proof cue, or everybody's doing it, could occur in many social situations, especially among friendships and especially in college settings. The authority cue, which is what I just talked about, because I said so, could occur in the workplace between employer and employee relationships. And the consistency cue of we've always done it that way could occur in educational settings between teacher and student relationships, or even employer and employee relationships as well. So in conclusion, the text also says that peripheral thinking is mindless reliance on cues and requires minimum mental effort. So by looking at this experience and future experiences that could occur, being aware of peripheral cues will hopefully ultimately create stronger communication skills among more critically thinking people, which is the goal for any case in any setting that requires communication. We want to be critical thinkers in all the conversations that we have and really think cognitively about the messages that we're receiving and interpreting. So I think that a quote by Albert Einstein really sums up this whole idea of peripheral thinking and peripheral cues and wanting to be more aware of critical thinking and cognitive approaches to conversations. He said, "The value of education is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think." So I think that this really sums up everything that I've been talking about. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it.